What's up, BooTube? I'm cold, so I'm putting my hood on. I don't even care if I look like a dork for it. This is my reaction rant to The Flash Season 3, Episode 6, titled Shade. Let's get on to it, because I still have to do The Walking Dead. Anyway, Shade, I believe it's, we see like a scene with Kid Flash running around helping people, I'm guessing like from Flashpoint. But then we hear Wally narrating, so it sounds like Wally's telling someone about something, but then we see Wally talking to his dad saying, "Oh, I've been having recent dreams about me being Kid Flash and saving people and having super speed," right? And it's not a good thing, because obviously, like, every person that Alchemy has run into, well, not really run into, but every time there's a new meta, it happens to be someone that was a meta in the Flashpoint timeline, and Alchemy ends up, turning them into metas, right? And it all starts with this. They end up getting dreams from their Flashpoint lives, and then Alchemy gets his hands on this person, and they get their powers. So Wally's having those dreams. Alchemy's gonna get his hands on him, right? And because of that, of course, I believe Joe tells Barry about it, and Barry reveals to the entire West family, basically to everybody, about the fact that in Flashpoint, Wally was in fact a speedster named Kid Flash, and he was working together with his sister. And yeah, that's the reason why Wally's having those dreams, is because, in Flashpoint he was in fact a speedster named Kid Flash. And we also see that I want to say a stockbroker dude. I don't know. He looked very official. He had a suit on and everything. I'm guessing coming out of work. But he ends up getting murdered by, I want to say, a huge freaking shadow. And of course the team finds out about it, and HR actually says that there was a meta similar on his Earth who they nicknamed Shade. And similar powers, with the whole shadow thing going on, right? And so hence the name Shade. Roll credits, right? I actually looked up Shade. Shade is in fact in the comics. Alter ego Richard Swift, part of the Injustice Society. Abilities: shadow manipulation, able to control darkness, ability to travel great distances in short amount of time, create constructs out of shadows, does not age, and virtually immortal. Creepy, right? Anyway, I believe this person debuted in the 1940 National Comics. Wow. In the pages of the Flash comics. Yay! This villain's actually best known for fighting against 2 generations of superheroes, most notably in Golden Age and Silver Age versions of the Flash. Yes. Awesome. But anyway, apparently this Shade guy also became the mentor for a person named Jack Knight, who happens to be the son of Golden Age Starman Ted Knight, who is a hero that Shade fought against. So basically, Starman, his son, basically became a protege to someone that his dad fought against. Congratulations, guys. That is awesome. Let's see if he's been anywhere else. He's appeared in Justice League episode. Awesomeness. That's pretty cool. And Justice League Unlimited. Nice. So this is not the first time he's appeared in media, although this is the first time he's showed up in live action. But he has appeared in the Justice League and Justice League Unlimited cartoons. Cool. I'm fascinated now. Anyway, hang on. Let's get back to... There it is. But anyway, there's also a moment where Caitlin actually reveals to Cisco that she has powers. That she has her little Killer Frost powers. And she asks Cisco to vibe her to see if she actually turns evil in the future. Although I understand she's kind of scared, since she's getting these powers and everything. But, I don't think that she should know her future. I think no good can come from knowing your future, you know what I mean? And, yeah, like, how many, like, shows or books or anything, any media in general where someone finds out their future and it turns out to be a good thing? You know, I know a majority of the time it's never a good thing to know your future, because, like, that one show from Disney, That's So Raven, she sees the future. Granted, it's not much of the future. She sees, like, little bits of it. But in the end, all the stuff she sees ends up coming true, even though she tries to stop herself from doing it, right? And it's like, nothing good comes from vibing the future, guys. Nothing ever happens good. But Cisco does it anyways, and he sees himself fighting Killer Frost. And that's normally not a good thing, but that could be like a lot of things, you know, like, yeah, it could mean that Caitlyn turns evil and turns into Killer Frost and is fighting Cisco. But maybe it's something else. I mean, what if they're training? What if, like, you know, Caitlyn gets her powers and they're training her to be a good guy, and, you know, Cisco's the one that volunteers to train her because he has to train himself. What if it's that? It could mean that, you know. It can't always mean that Caitlyn's evil just because she's fighting Cisco. Ever heard of training? I'm pretty sure the Justice League in the comics have, you know, fought against each other to train. I'm just saying. Anyway, Cisco sees himself fighting Caitlyn in the future, and when Caitlyn asks, he pretty much lies to her face saying, I didn't see anything, just so she could to relieve her from any, you know, stress about it, which I understand, but it's like, you shouldn't keep shit like that. Oh, I cursed. You shouldn't, sorry for the cursing, you shouldn't keep things like that bottled up, because it's not gonna stay bottled up for long. When I saw that, I knew Cisco wasn't gonna keep that a secret for very long. I knew he was either gonna tell Caitlyn herself or tell someone else about it. But anyway, we also, unfortunately, Wally, Alchemy is summoning Wally. Wally's hearing his voice in his head, and, you know, he collapsed, he's having some, kind of looks like seizures, but we've seen this before. When Alchemy calls to someone that had powers in Flashpoint, this is what basically happens. And, HR, he suggested that they lock him up in the pipeline only to keep him safe from Alchemy until we figure out how to help him, right? It's like, HR actually came up with a very good idea. I give him props. I really do. But anyway, hang on for a sec, guys. Anyway, while that's all happening, since Wally had to be kept in the pipeline, apparently, I'm not gonna get too much into detail, but remember that one DA lady that was really interested in Joe? Apparently, they asked for, like, a movie in the park date, which is pretty cute, and he said that everyone was gonna be there, you know, his kids, Barry. But since Wally can't go, and Barry and Iris have volunteered to stay to keep an eye on Wally, Cisco, Caitlyn, and HR decide to go with them. And of course, the problem with HR is because his face looks like the guy who murdered Barry's mom. He actually has this technology thing that he brought from his world that could change his face, which is pretty cool. It's like a little disguise pen. Kind of reminds me of that one from Sailor Moon, kind of. But anyway, so those three accompany Joe to watch the movie, and as they're watching the movie, Shade attacks at the movie, and Cisco, of course, sends out an alarm, and Barry has no choice but to go and help them out, right? And while he's dealing with the Shade's attack, Wally gets entranced again by Alchemy while he's in the pipeline. He's like freaking out. Alchemy's writing his name on the glass wall. Iris is there, like, oh my god, are you okay? And Iris opens the pipeline to check on Wally, and Wally actually tries to escape. And Iris actually knocks him unconscious by punching him in the face. And I was like, Iris West, yo. That punch must have been really hard, because she knocked her own brother out. That was the coolest thing I've ever seen. Ever! That was awesome. But anyway, back with Shade. Barry and the rest of the team managed to stop Shade by basically turning on all the car lights. Because remember, it's an outdoor movie thing, and all the cars are all parked around there, right? So what they do, they make HR, Caitlyn, and Cisco are in a van where they pretty much, I don't know how, but they managed to hack all the cars and turn on all their high beam lights, and basically that stops the metahuman from using shadow, and Barry uses these handcuff things that not really handcuffs, but these little cuff things that Cisco made to pretty much stop him from using the powers. So basically that was a very short-lived battle against Shade and Flash, but hey. But anyway, another thing that I mentioned, Cisco, those nullifying cuff things that he made, at one point when he revealed those, it went missing, only to find out that Caitlin actually took them so she could nullify her powers. And that's when she told Cisco, hey, I took your cuff things because I'm a metahuman, right? But anyway, Cisco, after this whole thing happened, Cisco tells Caitlin, you gotta tell them. You gotta tell them. And unfortunately, Cisco, with the probing of Cisco, everyone else finds out about Caitlin being a metahuman. And, of course, Caitlin's upset. If I remember correctly, I think this was before. I'm not sure if this is before or after the battle with Shade, but Barry ends up having a one-on-one talk with her and actually confesses to her that before he created Flashpoint, Caitlin never had any powers. So the reason why Caitlin has Killer Frost powers now is because Barry created Flashpoint. And before Caitlin can really say anything, Wally, who's recovered naturally from being knocked out by his sister, actually tells him that, he could lead them to alchemy since alchemy's talking to him, right? And even though Barry and Joe are very reluctant to do this, they realize that Wally's right. They need to get alchemy before anything else happens, right? And so Barry, Joe, and a SWAT team try to locate alchemy. And this is the weird part, though. Joe asked Barry if he could get a hold of Julian, but Julian did not answer. They can't contact Julian for some oddball reason, right? But anyway, as they are locating alchemy through Wally, they end up finding alchemy in this abandoned warehouse surrounded by guys in hoods, chanting and all that stuff. And, as they're about to, get an upper hand on alchemy, this person comes out of nowhere, apparently is a speedster, and apparently Barry's the only one who can see this person, and attacks everyone and knocks them all out, including alchemy's people. And as Barry's trying to chase this person, alchemy notices that Wally noticed that alchemy dropped this energy weapon that he was going to use on Wally to get his powers, and Wally, entranced by it, unfortunately picks it up, and he's encased in this giant crystal cocoon, which I'm only guessing is how everyone else that got their Flashpoint powers happened, right? And as that happens, Barry gets trapped by this person that only he can see, and he's like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "My name is Savitar or something like that," and he calls himself the god of speed. And he's all pinning Barry to the wall, and he's like the ceiling preparing to kill him. And I looked up Savitar, or whatever his name is, and apparently he's a Cold War pilot for a third world nation. And apparently as he reached top speed in his fighter jet, he was struck by lightning and went down into hostile territory and got super speed. And he named himself after Savitar or something like that, a Hindu god of motion. And yeah, apparently he sought out to battle Johnny Quick at one point. Also, I don't know much about this guy. I never really read much about him. All I know, he's in the comics. He appeared in Flash Volume 2, number 108. And that's all I can really tell you. He's a Cold War pilot for a third world nation. But, yeah, it's really interesting that we get another speedster. It's kind of somewhat getting old. I mean, we got Reverse Flash. We got, shoot, I even forgot his name already. What was his name? The guy with the creepy black outfit with blue. I forgot his name already. This is horrible. But, like, we got 2 speedsters in a row, and now we got this third one that apparently only Barry could see, which is kind of weird. But, obviously he's a bad guy, and I'm really this episode was really crazy because oh my god, I'm running out of time, but I'm really worried about Barry, and again, not gonna lie, seeing another speedster is kind of old. But again, this is an interesting episode, and I'm looking forward to the next one, which involves more Killer Frost. Bye, Boo-Too.